by Anton Pavlovich Chekhov. Vanka, a 9-year-old boy, sent 3 months earlier to be apprenticed to the shoemaker Alyakin, did not go to bed on Christmas Eve. He waited till master and apprentices went to church, then took a bottle of ink and a pen with a rusty nib from the master's cupboard, spread out a rumpled sheet of paper in front of him, and began to write. Before tracing the first letter, he looked fearfully several times at the doors and windows, cast a sidelong glance at the dark icon surrounded on both sides by long shelves of shoe lasts, and heaved a choking sigh. The paper lay on a bench, and he himself knelt down by the bench. Dear Grandpa, Konstantin Makarich, he wrote. So I'm writing you a letter. I wish you a Merry Christmas and all good things from the Lord God. I have no father or mother. You are the only one I have left. Vanka's eyes moved to the dark window, in which the reflection of his candle flickered, and vividly imagined his grandfather, Konstantin Makarich, who worked as a night watchman at the Zivarevs. He was a small, skinny, but remarkably nimble and lively old fellow of about 65, with an eternally laughing face and drunken eyes. He spent his days sleeping in the servants' quarters or bantering with the kitchen maids, and during the night, wrapped in a roomy winter coat, he walked around the estate beating on his clapper. Behind him, their heads hanging, trotted the old bitch chestnut and little eel, so called because of his black collar and long, weasel-like body. This eel was remarkably respectful and gentle, looked with equal tenderness on his own people and on strangers, but enjoyed no credit. His respectfulness and humility concealed the most Jesuitical insidiousness. No one knew better than he how to sneak up and nip you on the leg, how to get into the cellar, or steal a peasant's chicken. He had been beaten to pulp more than once. Twice he had been hung. Every week he was thrashed till he was half dead, but he always recovered. His grandfather is probably standing by the gate now, squinting his eyes at the bright red windows of the village church, stamping his felt boots, and bantering with the servants. His clapper hangs from his belt. He clasps his hands, hunches up from the cold, and, with an old man's titter, pinches a maid or a kitchen girl. "How about a little snuff?" he says, offering his snuff-box to the women. The women take snuff and sneeze. His grandfather goes into indescribable raptures, dissolves in merry laughter, and shouts, "Tear it off! It's frozen!" They also give snuff to the dogs. Chestnut sneezes, turns a nose away, and goes off, feeling offended. But Eel, being respectful, does not sneeze and wags his tail. And the weather is magnificent. The air is still, transparent and fresh. The night is dark, but the whole village can be seen, the white roofs with little curls of smoke coming from the chimneys, the trees silvered with hoarfrost, the snowdrifts. The whole sky is strewn with merrily twinkling stars, and the Milky Way is as clearly outlined as if it had been washed and scoured with snow for the feast. Vanka sighed, dipped his pen, and went on writing. And yesterday they gave me what for. The master dragged me out to the yard by the hair and thrashed me with a belt, because I was rocking their baby in the cradle and accidentally fell asleep. And last week, the mistress told me to clean a herring, and I started with the tail, so she took the herring and began showing its head into my mug. The apprentices poke fun at me, send me to the pothouse for vodka, and tell me to steal pickles from the master, and the master beats me with whatever he can find. And there's nothing to eat. They give me bread in the morning, kasha for dinner, and bread again in the evening. And as for tea or cabbage soup, they have it all for themselves. And they make me sleep in the front hall, and when their baby cries, I don't sleep at all. I rock the cradle. Dear Grandpa, do me this mercy. Take me home to the village. I just can't stand it. I go down on my knees to you, and I pray to God eternally for you. Take me away from here, or I will die. Vanka twisted his lips, rubbed his eyes with his black fist, and gave a sob. I'll rub your tobacco for you, he went on. Pray to God for you. And if there's ever any reason, you can whip me like a farmer's goat. And if you think there'll be no work for me, I'll ask the steward, for Christ's sake, to let me polish the boots, or go instead of Fedka to help the shepherd. Dear Grandpa, I can't stand it. It's simply killing me. I thought of running away on foot to the village, but I have no boots. I'm afraid of freezing. And when I grow up, I'll feed you for it, and I won't let anybody harm you. And when you die, I'll pray for the repose of your soul, as I do for my mama. And Moscow is a big city. All the houses and manors. There are lots of horses, but no sheep, and the dogs aren't fierce. There's no children's procession with the star here, and they don't let anybody sing in the choir. And once in the window of a shop I saw hooks for sale with lines for all kinds of fish, really worth it. There was even one hook that would hold a 30-pound sheatfish. And I saw shops selling all kinds of guns like our squares, worth maybe 100 rubles each. And in the butcher's shops there are blackcocks and hazelgroos and hares. But where they go to hunt them, the shop's clerks won't tell. Dear Grandpa, when the masters have a Christmas tree party with treats, take a gilded nut from me and hide it in the green chest. Ask the young Miss Olga Ignatievna and tell her it's for Vanka. Vanka sighed spasmodically and again stared at the window. He remembered how his grandfather always went to the forest to fetch a Christmas tree for the masters and took his grandson with him. They had a merry time. His grandfather grunted, and the frost grunted, and looking at them, Vanka also grunted. Usually, before cutting down the tree, his grandfather smoked his pipe or took a long pinch of snuff while he chuckled at the freezing Manushka. The young fir trees, shrouded in the hoarfrost, stand motionless, waiting to see which of them is to die. Out of nowhere, a hare shoots like an arrow across the snowdrifts. His grandfather cannot help shouting, "Catch him! Catch him! Catch him! Ah, the short-tailed devil!" The cut-down tree would be lugged to the master's house, and there they would start decorating it. The young Miss Olga Ignatievna, Vanka's favorite, was the busiest of all. When Vanka's mother Pelageya was still alive and worked in the master's house as a maid, Olga Ignatievna used to give Vanka fruit drops and, having nothing to do, taught him how to read, to write, to count to 100, and even to dance the quadrille. But when Pelageya died, the orphaned Vanka was packed off to his grandfather in the servants' kitchen, and from the kitchen to Moscow, to the shoemaker Alyakin. Come, Dear Grandpa, Vanka went on, by Christ God, I beg you, take me away from here. Have pity on me, a wretched orphan, because everybody beats me, and I'm so hungry, and it's so dreary I can't tell you. I just cry all the time. And the other day the master hit me on the head with a last, so that I fell down and barely recovered. My life is going bad. Worse than any dog's. And I also send greetings to Alyona, to One-Eyed Yegorka, and to the coachman. And go and don't give my harmonica away to anybody. I remain your grandson, Ivan Zhukov. Dear Grandpa, come. Vanka folded the written sheet in four and put it into an envelope he had bought the day before for a kopeck. After thinking a little, he dipped his pen and wrote the address. To Grandpa in the village. Then he scratched his head, reflected and added, Konstantin Makarich. Pleased that he had not been disturbed at his writing, he put on his hat and, without getting into his coat, ran outside in just his shirt. The clerks at the butcher shop, whom he had asked the day before, had told him that letters are put in mailboxes, and from the mailboxes are carried all over the world on troikas of post horses with drunken drivers and jingling bells. Vanka ran over to the nearest mailbox and put the precious letter into the box. Lulled by sweet hopes, an hour later he was fast asleep. He dreamed of a stove. On the stove sits his grandfather, his bare feet hanging down. He is reading Vanka's letter to the kitchen maids. Eel walks around the stove, wagging his tail.